Welcome all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. In today's session, let us look at an easier way for DBAs to self-audit and report database compliance with Enterprise Manager. My name is Shiva Prasad. I am part of Enterprise Manager Product Management Group. Imagine Enterprise Manager making life simpler for DBAs by automating the self-audit process, essentially doing the legwork for you and keeping your Oracle databases secure, in line with compliance requirements. And cherry on top provides comprehensive reports, sparing the headache of digging through data and saving valuable time, while still ensuring your databases meet all necessary standards. To begin with, I want to take a moment to introduce Database Lifecycle Management Pack, known as DBLM, that provides a rich set of features that supports database consolidation, enforces standardization, manage for security compliance, secure configuration for your assets, and automates time-consuming tasks. With this, you get complete ops automation, including managing secure configuration, manage secure compliance with your policies, besides provisioning new clusters, patching, and upgrading databases. All of these are essential for your automation. In the world of ever-increasing data breaches and other security challenges, it is extremely important for you to protect your databases from vulnerabilities. More and more companies are elevating their IT risk management and measure their security posture against the compliance defined by respective security office. It is critical to make sure your database configurations are secure and compliant. You want to monitor and manage any deviations quickly to protect your sensitive assets. With DBLM, you can manage and secure your assets compliance with industry and regulatory standards like CIS, STIG, HIPAA, or PCI-DSS. You can manage configuration changes, especially undesired changes, to reduce the risk of breaches. You can leverage built-in autonomous health framework EXAchk to secure and manage your Exadata infrastructure stack for your health, performance, and security issues. Another critical day-to-day operations task you must have in place is ensuring all your database assets have all required recommended security patches applied that will help you to protect from breaches. And DBLM has a solution called Fleet Maintenance that helps you in achieving this along with compliance management. With a database lifecycle management pack, you can do comprehensive management of databases. Here are the database management scenarios. With solution in this pack, you can automate complex patching activities, get automated security patch recommendations, helps you to standardize on Oracle home configuration with its recommendations, enables you to be compliant with industry and regulatory standards, and helps you to get stock of inventory and its utilization over time. In today's session, we will primarily focus on security compliance and configuration management with the intent to showcase solutions for you to secure your assets. Here we are, secure configuration, manage for compliance. Secure configuration management is key to maintain, modernize, and achieving compliance through automated auditing, protect sensitive information as we go, ensure systems are robust, minimize vulnerabilities, and reduce organization for overall risks. Before I get into specific details of the solution, let's take a look at reasons for why you need proactively patch and check for secure configuration of your database assets. If you look at various stakeholders in your organization, you will see each of them has critical roles to play for securing your assets. CFO, who is responsible for all the financial aspects of the company, plays the role of an influencer in making sure required regulatory compliance requirements are in place to ensure each asset is secure and compliant with all the audit policies. CFO wants to make sure there aren't negative financial implications because of breaches or non-compliance to auditing requirements. Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, has key responsibility in securing every aspect of your assets to protect sensitive business and customer data. And also ensure each asset is compliant with various compliance policies. CISO will be looking at areas like practices and tools to put in place to patch vulnerabilities in a timely manner, ways to continuously monitor and manage secure configuration of assets and its corresponding compliance needs, identify solutions for vulnerabilities because of human factor, be it human error or risky behavior or any potential insider threats. Define remediations for each of the deviations besides a lot more other activities. Similarly, CIOs, architects, DBAs, and other administrators have similar responsibilities. If you look at roles of each stakeholder, their top security concerns are monitor and manage risks, be it applying security patches to address known vulnerabilities or potential misconfigurations or other threats, and ensure each asset is compliant with audit policies. There is a consistent theme across various levels with your organization. And why is this? That's because bad actors have many ways to take over your customer data. Looking at these numbers, it could be a bit overwhelming. If you look at various data breach reports, you will see more than 45% of the breaches are due to either misconfigurations or insecure configurations of your assets. This has become the preferred ways for bad actors to exploit and get a hold of sensitive information. And it is like a treasure trove for them. Also, taking over accounts with elevated administrative privileges is another way for breach and anomalous behavior. About 74% of the time, privilege credentials have been abused. Lack of principles of least privileges for each user is a vehicle for breaches. Because of increasing number of breaches, enterprises are scaling up their efforts to address cybersecurity and compliance challenges. For Gartner's 2023 top 10 IT risk assessment priorities, cybersecurity and compliance are the top two for a good reason. Any business interruptions because of breaches will have tangible impacts in many ways, be it reputation, penalties, and also potential trust issues by the customers. As we dive into the world of enterprise management, it's crucial to underscore the importance of security management by leveraging compliance standard capabilities. You can ensure and mitigate security risks, integrity, and availability of your IT infrastructure. This isn't it just adhering to security compliance standards. It's about protecting your most valuable assets. Let it be data, IT assets, reputation, and ultimately business continuity. Implementing strong access controls and best practices by managing compliance frameworks, defining and customizing compliance standard and its rules, for example, such as ensuring automated policy violation and alerts. Automated health compliance assessments on EXAchk data. Cloud, easy to use, scales elastically, known as EXAchk Data Cloud Health and Compliance, set of compliance standards and associated controls to overall health monitoring, automated risk identifications, and proactive notifications of issues for each Exadata system component and database instances. Identifying and classifying sensitive data like what type, where, and how much. It is a data classification. Who can access data and its risks exposure to help apply appropriate controls to secure and protect it, and proactively respond to data privacy and security regulations. Configuration drifts. As business scales, managing configuration across numerous Oracle databases and servers can become challenging, leading to inconsistencies, and introducing vulnerabilities leads to non-compliance and breaches. Auditing for compliance and security policies to ensure that they comply with different regulations, such as CIS, STIG, HIPAA, and PCI-DSS, and so on. Database auditing is typically used to monitor activities of privileged database administrators, detect unauthorized activity on sensitive assets, assist with investigations of data breaches or other suspicious activity, provide a proof of monitoring critical IT assets to auditors, provide reports on charges to the database environment to auditors. Securing an Oracle database is much like securing any other system. You are protecting your data. That could be intellectual property, financial data, personal data about your customers or staff, or combination of all. Because data is valuable, you need to guard against theft and misuse. You need to safeguard that data with security controls that restrict access according to your policy by using either industry standard, benchmarks, or custom policies. By securing configuration of Oracle databases, underlying Linux hosts, and Exadata engineered systems, you can get a unified view of overall security compliance of all these targets managed by EM. There are a broad set of standards provided by Enterprise Manager for databases, for Linux hosts, and for Exadata engineered system. By securing of each of these targets, you are essentially securing your infrastructure stack and improving security posture. You can automate remediation of any violations, thus reducing the DBA time in manual remediation of each target, DBA owns, which is going to be very time consuming. Earlier, I talked ways to secure your databases and underlying hosts to reduce security exposure risks. In addition to that, now you can secure underlying Exadata engineering systems too. You can secure, choose, and every Exadata component are based on your choice. By doing this, you are securing everything from database to its infrastructure. For databases 12C all the way up to 19C, there is support for CIS benchmark out of the box compliance standards. It supports all target database types, be it by single instance, cluster, and multi-tenant. Along with that, there are other industry standards like Enterprise Manager, which supports STIG standards that are periodically published by Department of Defense. STIG standards for 11.2G, 12C, and 19C database targets are supported. Enterprise Manager also supports Oracle's own set of security best practices and recommendations. Each of these standards provide a set of compliance checks for various components of the database, whether you want to focus on just the database initialization parameters or monitor user privileges or more broader checks like auditing and user sessions. In addition to these out-of-the-box rules, you can either customize each of these rules or create a brand new rule that aligns with your security policy. In addition to all these capabilities, Enterprise Manager now integrates database security assessment tool known as DBSAT for you to assess database security posture at scale. For example, let me walk you through CS benchmark. The CS benchmark provides comprehensive configuration coverage for Oracle database. It covers Oracle database installation and patching requirements, parameter settings, database connection and login restrictions, user access and authorization restrictions, and audit policies and procedures. Each of these have set of comprehensive checks. For example, ensuring certain users have broader privileges, while some will have restricted access to various database components like tables and other objects. Each configuration group defines detailed requirements to ensure and secure each configuration of Oracle database targets. Oracle provides recommendations for securing user accounts and privileges. Grant necessary privileges only. Do not provide database users or roles more privileges than are necessary. Restrict create any job, become user, export full database, and import full database privileges, since these are very powerful security related privileges. Only grant these privileges to users who needs them. Let me pick an example to showcase compliance security checks. CS benchmark provides to check and ensure user access and authorization restrictions. These authorizations must be able to block unauthorized users by setting restrictions on user capabilities. Benchmark includes checks for revoking various privileges, whether it is tied to system privileges or object or role or other objects. For an example, sys.aud dollar table is the audit trail table that contains all audit records for the database. This check is provided as part of revoke excessive table and view privileges. Unauthorized grantees should not have full access to sys.aud dollar table. Providing authorization for non-privileged users to manipulate this table will potentially lead to that user modifying the audit records and or hiding unauthorized access. Benchmark provides precise SQL statement as shown and remediation to restrict access to this table. This belongs to the CIS controls V8 and which is part of 3.3 configured data access control list. Similar like this use cases, there are SQL statements and remediation steps provided for each of the user and its other tables in the database. For example, history dollar table or user dollar table. Enterprise Manager Compliance Framework integrates DBSAT for enterprises to do security assessment of database assets at scale in one workflow. You can leverage out-of-box DBSAT compliance standard in Enterprise Manager for this fleet level assessment. There are unique security rules spread across various areas. You can secure, detect, and remediate database assets. Unique security controls spread across various areas like user access and restrictions, database configurations, fine-grained access control, auditing system privileges, sensitive data identification. There will be notification for each violation. You can review each violation and manually remediate, or you can establish auto remediation to correct any violations. Let's discuss how to secure Exadata engineered system for security compliance to reduce vulnerabilities with Autonomous Health Framework. Enterprise Manager integrates Oracle Autonomous Health Framework, known as AHF, EXAchk for Exadata engineered. Oracle EXAchk is a lightweight and non-intrusive health check framework for the stack of software and hardware components in Exadata. Enterprise Manager provides a set of compliance standards and associated controls for overall health monitoring, automated risk identifications, and proactive notifications of issues for each Exadata system and its component and database instances. It helps to maintain compliance with component-specific best practices, notifies any performance issues or vulnerabilities to known issues. By integrating EXAchk in Enterprise Manager, we will get access to the native EXAchk report. This EXAchk report is for comprehensive analysis for each component in Exadata. You can use this report to check critical Exadata issues, specific component like database server or storage server issues, look at top 10 time-consuming checks, and more. Each Exadata component target violations has represented here graphically based on severity of violations. Let's talk about configuration management. Just imagine configuration as a watchdog, always on guard to prevent any configuration drift that could destabilize your database's harmony and security. And it doesn't stop there. Promoting standardized configuration across your Oracle databases for a perfect symphony of reliability and efficiency. Now, let's switch gears and talk about misconfiguration. That is one more preferred ways for bad actors to take over sensitive customer data. Security configuration management feature enables you to continuously track any configuration deviations from the baseline. Besides tracking deviations, configuration management enables you to standardize on your number of configurations in your data center so that it enhances your security posture and also reduces the maintenance. With drift management, you can continuously monitor and ensure all your targets are compliant with your baseline. You can collect your own customized configuration by leveraging configuration extension and deploy it on the target. Out-of-the-box security baselines will enable you to continuously monitor the configuration to determine your security posture and also gives you flexibility in customizing to align with your policies. Key benefits of security configuration management enables you to enhance overall security posture. Standardize on configuration. Reports will help you to audit for compliance with your policies. Whenever there is a deviation, you can see recommendations and workflow to remediation. You can automate remediation, thus reducing your overall operations time and minimize maintenance window. Let's look at some real use cases where configuration drift plays a role. Typically, customer has requirements to compare. For instance, you may have a need to compare specific parameters that aligns with your best practices and as well as securities. Goal is to detect any configuration deviations, make sure there is notification, and then remediate each of those deviations to be compliant with this baseline. Configuration drift and consistency management will take care of it. Another crucial example is with RAC-DB instances. Goal is to ensure all of the instances within cluster DBs are consistent as far as well-defined configuration parameters are concerned. Let's look at configuration comparison, a drift scenario. Large-scale configuration comparison of similar target type to ensure configuration is same as reference. Once you have defined and saved comparison, a change in configuration automatically starts a recomparison. If you have set up notifications, you'll be defined and notified of those changes. Comparison allows you to ensure track differences against baseline, ignore certain attributes during a comparison, define comparison templates to disregard unnecessary attributes, notify key personnel when differences are detected. Let's look at configuration collections. EM collects comprehensive configuration metrics. If you want to collect any custom configuration metrics, EM provides capability called configuration extensions for each customer data collections. Customized configurations can be collected on well-known target types or on a target type introduced as part of the configuration extension definition. You can either define an OS command or define a SQL query as part of creating an extension to gather specific configuration details that are relevant for your day-to-day management and security policy. Thank you for attending this session. Here are some resources you can refer. There is web and YouTube videos. There's blogs you can read. There's docs available. And most importantly, there's a hands-on labs. You can try it out at your own convenience by scanning the QR code. I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you so much.